Hi, this is Dr. Victoria Nalule. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Nalule Energy and Mining Consultancy, named Energy. It's an international consulting firm, and we do lots of work with respect to oil, gas, energy transitions, climate change, the mining sector, and also renewables. So involve us anytime. So in today's discussion, I want to look at this book. This is my book on land law and the extractive industries, which looks at the challenges and opportunities in Africa. And I'll specifically look at page 101, which talks about gender justice in the extractive industries, gender justice specifically in the mining sector. So, what is gender justice and why is it essential for the mining sector? First, ensuring gender equality has been really an initiative that we have seen at the national level. We have various laws that talk about gender equality at the regional level and at the international level. For instance, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 5 is focused on gender equality. So this is a wide topic, but in this video, I just want to talk about the practicality. How practical is it to achieve gender justice or gender equality in the mining sector? First, when you're talking about gender equality or gender justice, we have to look at it from three perspectives. Gender justice from an economic perspective, gender justice from a social perspective, and gender justice from a political perspective. And in all these three areas, we notice that we cannot achieve gender justice in the mining sector if we don't have gender equality politically, economically, and socially. And it's not really a concept for feminists, because when you're talking about, for instance, gender justice or gender equality economically, it simply means that women should have equal rights as men when it comes to accessing the benefits that accrue from the mining sector. And then socially, it implies that women should not be made to suffer the social or environmental impacts associated with the mining sector. They shouldn't only suffer the social and environmental impacts when they are not benefiting economically. And then for political justice is to ensure that there is the political will to support women in the mining sector. So basically, those are the three areas I look at in this book and on page 101, looking at gender justice in the mining sector, but recognizing the need to empower women economically so that they have equal benefits, to empower them socially so that they are not only suffering the social impacts, and then to empower them politically to ensure there is political will and that the laws that support gender justice or gender equality are implemented. So the main question that I ask in this book when it comes to the mining sector, the first question is, does the law mandate equal pay for males and females in the mining sector? Or if you are female and you have the same qualifications as a male, the male will be paid more money when yet you're doing the same job in the mining sector. So that's the first question. And then the most important thing is, do married men and women have equal rights to property and land, especially for the ASM sector at sun and small scale mining? Because if you look at some traditions, some countries, some cultures, it's mostly the men who have access to this property or who have the rights to the property. So that will also affect the females from benefiting from the mining sector, especially for artisan and small scale mining. Because remember, for it, it's carried out on a small scale. So whoever owns the land really would benefit a lot from the small scale mining, which is not the same case for for the large scale mining. So for small scale and for artisanal and small scale mining, it's really very key to look at these questions to understand really, are there ways that can enable women to benefit from these sectors, or it's just in theory? Now, moving forward, how can we achieve gender justice, especially for the ASM sector at Sun and Small Scale Mining? First, the need to empower women economically, because for the ASM, for someone to benefit, you should be empowered economically. You should have the finances to even have the capital to invest in the ASM sector. So do the women have access to to loans? Do they have access to grants? Do they have access to funding that can enable them to carry out activities in the mining sector? And then the other important thing is the political will. Does the government really support initiatives that are aimed at empowering these women to take part in the mining sector? And the mining sector, it's a very unique sector which is really different from other sectors because of the environmental and social impacts associated with mining. So if you are not careful, you might find that whereas the economic benefits are moving towards the men, it's mostly the women who are going to suffer the social and environmental impacts of mining, like pollution. There are various social impacts and environmental impacts that I cover in my books. So that's why when we're talking about gender justice, we have to look at it in the three categories to ensure that the women are empowered economically, to have the finances and the capital to take part in these initiatives, that they're empowered socially, at their cultural practices or even traditions that bar women from carrying out some activities, and how can we get rid of such cultural limitations, and also to empower them politically so that the government supports the different initiatives. So this is a short video on gender justice, but in summary, we have been discussing about gender justice for a very long time, but it's time to take action and really deal with the practical perspective of gender justice. Empower women economically, let them get access to the finances, to the capital, so that it's not just about getting employment, but also it's about owning a mine. I would like to own a mine. So maybe the gender justice can start with me, but no, I'm joking. But for the people who are involved in the artisan and small scale mining, I've done some videos on my YouTube channel, but you will, from their interviews, you will notice that most of these women are simply working, but they don't have the same opportunities to own the mines, to be the boss, especially for small scale mining. So let's empower them financially in a practical sense, and also getting them the necessary equipment that they can use in the mining sector, and make us the bosses. But not because we also have to understand that we have to understand that professional women, the challenges they face are different from the challenges unprofessional women face in the mining sector. So when we are looking at solutions, we also have to look at ways of having tailored solutions for the professional women and tailored solutions for the unprofessional women, especially the women who are involved in the ASM sector. So that is also very key. This marks the end of the video. If you have any questions, I think this year I'll be responding to questions, so feel free. Bye bye. Get all my books and involve us at Name Energy. Get in contact with Dr. Victoria Nalule and give us projects. Empower us, the women. Anyway, bye bye.